Arsenal 0, Crystal Palace 0. A real struggle of a performance tonight for Arsenal Football Club, no doubt. Leaves them after 18 games. The first team, along with Palace, to play 18 games in 11th in the league. And some of the old struggles seem to be back a little bit tonight. First half especially, just couldn't really get going. Great save from Leno and a ball hitting the crossbar from a Benteke header. Really and truly kept them. No, was it Benteke? Somebody hit the crossbar over header. Might have been Tompkins. I get confused now. But Arsenal kind of getting away with it. They were much better in the second half, no doubt. But Arsenal really struggled to get going. They really couldn't break this Crystal Palace team down. And it's unfortunate for them because the unbeaten run was looking good. No one's going to undo that work or throw baby out with the bath water, but overtly not a good enough performance tonight. And I think we're going to see Arsenal, as I say, level out at this point. Look, listen, they deserve credit for those 3 games. Are they going to jump out of this? They're not in a relegation fight anymore. I think we all had a bit of a laugh and a joke with that. I know a lot of you in the comments are calling them bottlers, etc. I wouldn't call them bottlers for tonight. Just not good enough. They didn't bottle anything. They just couldn't break Crystal Palace down. The Devil's Advocate says that game just screamed mid-table tie. And I think that's a true reflection. That's how it felt watching. And I'm not being over the top and I'm not trying to be horrible about Arsenal. It just looked like 2 very evenly matched teams at times, which was an issue. And you've got to think, this is why, though I would look at Arsenal and I'd be disappointed as a Gooner. You had nearly 70% of the ball, but you only managed to have 11 shots in the whole game. And when you look at those shots, I think only, 2, 3 came in the first half. That was where this game was won and lost. And you just didn't have enough in the end to break Crystal Palace down. I want your views and opinions. We're going to get Adam, Jem, and Igal on in a moment. Then we're going to open up the lines for you to come on and have your say. But make sure you're smashing that like button for us. It's really important to the Football Terrace that you get that done. Smash it right now. Share this stream on your social media platforms with your friends and family. And sign up to the Discord server. The link for that is inside the description below. But I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're thinking and you're feeling in relationship. Comment here says, no disrespect. This is where Arsenal is at this season. Tierney was a massive miss for us. Yeah, I think Tierney was a miss for Arsenal tonight. And then in turn, you played Saka further back. And when Saka isn't part of your attacking trio, something's missing from Arsenal. And it says a lot when a kid's out of your team, you can't play, can't perform. There's no doubt Tierney was a big miss. Arsenal is back, is what Jerome says here. Yes, and they thought they were going to close the points. I mean, Chelsea fans and Spurs fans must be really happy right now. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Let's do a few more comments here. £365,000 a week for what? Dead. Listen, another week, another game, another terrible performance from pierre-emerick Aubameyang. And a question I want to pose to Arsenal fans tonight. When is Aubameyang going to be dropped from this team? We've seen Lacazette have large periods out of this Arsenal team during his time at the club. But pierre-emerick Aubameyang, as you say, another very, very poor performance from him. It really was. Positive news tonight. I thought Xhaka had a good game in the middle and Thomas Partey returned. And you saw an elevation in Arsenal once he came onto the field of play. So that's certainly a positive to take out of this game. But Aubameyang, does he need to be dropped? That's the big question. Will Arsenal invest any more money in January? Do you Gooners feel you need it? Do you Gooners feel that you need it in this January window if you are to push back for this top 4 race? Surely you haven't given up on top 4 already as a football club. So hit the like button, hit the share button. We're going to get the panel on now. Share the link with you all very, very soon. Let's do this. Adam here, Igal here, Jem here, and I think Igal's face says it all. Mate, I want to come to you first, Igal. A really poor and struggling performance tonight from your players. What went wrong, in your opinion? Why couldn't you get your game moving?
You know what? We are predictable. We are super predictable. If you constantly put it out wide for a cutback, you think that's going to break down a team that's as organized as Crystal Palace, you're wrong. We have to find ways to create chances through the middle. We have to find other ways to create chances, other ways to get players involved, other ways to get more of our attacking players to intertwine and connect and do those 1-2 passes that they're doing the past couple of games that we've been seeing. I didn't see any of that today. In addition to that, I would say, yes, somebody said in the comment section earlier, Tierney was a big miss. Once we seen Tierney was not in the game, we have to take into effect that Tierney from that left-hand side, crossing those balls in, even though we don't have a commanding big target man as a center forward, he creates a lot of chances from those crosses. Hector Bellerin probably crossed 2 to 4 crosses a game. He actually got into the box today and hindered us from a chance. Lacazette had the chance. Hector Bellerin took the chance away from Lacazette. So that just goes to show you what Hector Bellerin offers in comparison to Kieran Tierney. And to me, the biggest thing is we have 10 to 20 minutes where we look great, then 10 to 20 minutes where we look god-awful, and then at the end, we're just too predictable, and the team has figured this out. We need to find other ways to create chances.
So on Adam, I mean, you may disagree that you're too predictable, but if you are predictable, is that players not delivering what Arteta wants, or is that Arteta's system is just not sophisticated enough to change things up? Where do you feel the blame lies in that area?
I think, the blame has to lie with Arteta somewhat, but I have to look at poor squad planning. If I'm being honest, we knew, or I certainly knew, that Emile Smith-Rowe wasn't going to be able to deliver us in every single game, and him and Bukayo Saka are really the only two bright spots that we have creatively. And then I say poor squad planning because our backup left back isn't a left back. He's not even really a fullback at all. So you saw that we looked totally unbalanced. When Maitland-Niles was playing, he wasn't able to go on the outside of Joel Ward. He kept cutting in. Aubameyang was doing the exact same thing. So if we had a naturally left-footed player who could go out on that side and whip balls in, that would have given us a different dimension. And who knows, we may have scored some goals from that, because that's what we've been doing in the past couple of games. I think partly Arteta's fault, partly the players, and partly the whole club, because the squad isn't really balanced enough.
Yeah. Was this a bit of a wake-up call with Gal, in the sense of, I'm not saying you or Adam did this, but there's a lot of excitement after 3 wins on the bounce. Is this a wake-up call to show more the level that you're at, or was it just a bad night in the office? You'll be back next game pushing for this top 4.
This is a missed opportunity, Terry, because in this situation where the game's coming quick and fast, people are going to be playing 2 games in the next couple games. This was a missed opportunity, because if we were to win this game, then we'd start putting pressure and people would start to see us higher up the table and they start to take notice of us. As of right now, doing this, it almost takes away from what we've been accomplishing the past couple of games, because we've been trying to get more confidence through the team. We've been trying to pull together different things, and we didn't see a lot of the stuff that we've been seeing the past couple of games. Is it possible that some of those teams that we've been playing the past couple of weeks are not of the level of the top teams in Premier League, or could it be that we're up for some games and we're not up for some games? Because at home against Crystal Palace, we should be up for this game.
You look at it this way. Look, you deserve to beat Chelsea, but Chelsea weren't firing on all cylinders. It was a hard-fought win against Brighton. You weren't miles better than them. West Brom were trash. You were very good, but they were trash. And tonight you come up against a team that I think pretty much they didn't want to have they can't play as good a football as you in the middle of the park. They let you have the ball. You couldn't break them down. I think it's where you're at. And I think the squad needs, it's better players as well delivering in those positions. You saw as soon as Partey came on, there was a difference. It was quite late in the match. Relying on Eddie Nketiah, when Aubameyang's got problems, relying on Pepe, it's just not good enough squad depth in relation to that. We're going to come on to this super chat in a minute. It says, where was Aubameyang? Because I want to speak about him in and get some truthful answers. 2,000 people watching. Please smash that like button for us. Really important to the football terrace. You get that done right now. Don't forget to do it. If there's 2,000 of you watching, let's get it onto at least 1,000 likes while we're live, please. I want to go to Jem, of course, a Chelsea fan and a rival, man with his new microphone as well. I'm loving it. What did you make of Arsenal's performance tonight, Jem?
I fell asleep. The second half, I literally knocked off. Like, I was gone. Like, it was so boring. Like, and you know what it was as well? Like, Arsenal didn't really have any good shots on target. They were lacking. They were very static. They were very slow. They weren't moving the ball quick enough. And then they made the substitutions and they brought Nketiah on. They brought Pepe on. I know people keep calling for Pepe to come on, hopefully change and give you that spark, but I just don't see it still. He just looks like an absolute waste of money, garbage. And then you put Saka left back, your most creative player. And from then onwards, it was just game over. It was such a boring game. Absolutely boring game.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was one of them matches where, I mean, it also annoyed me because it was Ability FC you were playing, and there were so many times where they had the ball in good positions to counter, and they just time again got it wrong. Eze, I listen, he gets a free pass because he's a youngster. He's not one of the 27-year-olds youngsters that everyone still says has got potential. Like tonight, I think we saw why. The IUs, the Bentekes, the Zahas, the MacArthurs, the McCarthys, the Andros Townsends, all of those players between 18 and 21 were tipped to be stars. And that's why they're all at Crystal Palace. It's a graveyard for ability merchants. And I hope that Eze does well for a year or so and moves on, because a better team could have exposed Arsenal tonight. But I want to ask about Aubameyang. We have the super chat here. He's in absolutely dog breath form. Does there come a point where, although he's the most highly paid player at your club and in the country, does there come a point, Adam, where he has to be dropped?
Of course. Like, let's be real. Of course he does. Or there comes a point where he must be dropped, because if this was Lacazette, and I'll never forget the same energy I had for that guy, I really should be bringing it for Aubameyang as well. But I can't bring myself to do it, because the guy scored a lot of goals for us. He bailed us out time and time again, won us the FA Cup, scored some crucial goals there as well. So in my heart, I can't really do it and give him the same energy that I gave to Lacazette. But if we're being real and if we're being honest with ourselves, we know that he hasn't performed well after he got the contract. He hasn't even, it's not like he has other bits to his game where it's like he's scoring, but he's not scoring, but he's assisting, or he's creating big chances. He plays and there's nothing to talk about. There's no moments. There's no, oh my gosh, Aubameyang got me off my seat. It's just, oh, he didn't score again. And it's not good enough. We need a creative spark. And don't forget, he's captain. He is the captain of our club. He's not just any striker not scoring. It's the main guy, the guy that's meant to be leading. And if he's not doing his job or adding anything else in any other respect, bro, it's peak. I don't know.
Mate, I agree with what you're saying there. Igal, you kind of laughed at and jeered at in the summer when you suggested that you should cash in on Aubameyang and spend the money elsewhere. You get into a point now where you feel like the club may have made a big mistake. Not only did you not cash in on him, he's almost impossible to sell in the near future because he's on such a high contract. Do you now wish, hindsight's lucrative, do you wish you'd sold him and bought somebody else? Because his lack of performances now are really holding Arsenal back, aren't they?
100%. I think it was a situation for the club where they've lost so many stars over the past couple of years that almost it would be an assassination of the club's character if we did get rid of Aubameyang at the situation. And I understood why they kept him, but right now, Aubameyang, he needs to just get out of the firing line, come in as a substitute until he can get himself back and running. I get that he's our main guy. I get that this is the guy who saved us last year. But let's be honest, who impacted the game more today? Aubameyang or you look at the other side, you got Zaha. If Zaha was in our team, he'd walk in ahead of Aubameyang as of right now on form. I'm not saying he's a better player, but on form, he's a way better player right now.
I hear that. Sonny here, Sonny Unfiltered says, you wrote this script ages ago. Obama was okay. Agenda. Do you know what I'd say this though? He may have been okay, but at £375,000 a week, one of the best strikers in the league, your club captain, when you've been poor for the majority of the season, okay just doesn't cut it. Okay just isn't good enough when you're at Arsenal Football Club. The standards need to be there. And I'm not saying he's trash, he's dead, he's this. It's not sinister. But there comes a point where when you're not performing and you're offering very little else to the team, give another kid a chance. Like, you could stick an academy player. I mean, that lad that you just let go, I can't remember his name. Balogun, right?
Yeah.
If you play Balogun in every game this season, in an Arsenal, what's the likelihood he would have at least 3 goals? He could have at least 3 goals. And if you scored at least 3 goals this season, you've equaled that of Aubameyang. Giving another kid a chance, giving a youth prospect an opportunity right now while Aubameyang is struggling, give him that kick up the backside. I don't really see the harm in them doing that. KJ's joined us. We've just seen Arsenal drop more points. Give me your thoughts in relation to the performance and where Arsenal find themselves at the minute.
Yeah, it was just very drab indeed. And I think that the levels were shown when teams played to the best of their ability. Arsenal aren't necessarily the team that will wipe the floor with them. You know what I mean? Like we saw a West Brom team who didn't not play well at all, and Chelsea weren't good at all either. So like, I'm not taking away anything from their wins because their wins were very, very good. But you got to question: can they really compete when teams are playing at their best? And their best might not be. I'm not saying their best will be Man City, like a let's take a Wolves will play at a Man City level. I'm not saying that's their best, but if their best is here and Arsenal best is there, that still isn't good because that means you're mid-table because that's where a team like Wolves are. So I think there's still a lot of work to do. I know I was like having fun with Arsenal fans saying they're back, and things are going in the right direction. But in all seriousness, you knew this kind of game was coming around the corner. This is not a surprise that this has happened, and I think that's the worrying thing for Arsenal fans, that you knew that you was not back, and you knew you're not going around the corner yet. So I feel like Arsenal fans are doing the right thing in terms of taking their time and not getting carried away like they did before. But they should really starting asking questions of the players now, especially players like Aubameyang, like Pepe, who be bought in for big money, and Pepe more than Aubameyang for some reason. Where's the delivery? Where's the thing that you can hold on to and say they will be worth this money?
Can I say something on that?
Yeah. Go on.
It's the most frustrating thing is, KJ, I don't sense that we have players that we bring in that want to improve their level of ability or their level of skill. It's almost like they come in, they grab the bag, and they're like, yo, I'm here, I've got my money, and they're now resting on their laurels. None of them seem like they want to genuinely improve unless the young kids, they have nothing to worry about. Their freedom and the way they're playing, it shows that they don't care. They're just here for the money, some of them. And I'm disappointed in Willian. I'm disappointed in Pepe. I'm disappointed in Aubameyang. But the worst thing about it is, how are we going to get any better without playing with these guys? What can we do? Because if the coaches can't do anything to improve their performances, and they generally don't have the work ethic to improve as footballers, what can we do?
Dump them all.
It's a great point. Keep the chat here from Ben. Big up yourself, Ben, who says, if you don't beat Newcastle, be very afraid, Arsenal. Your fixture list in the next month and a half is peak. We're going to take a little look at that now because I'm going to go to the Premier League fixture list. Let me zoom in a little bit on that now. And this, let me just get this up. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it from Nuri as well. Aubameyang is another Ozil. They are robbing the club, is what T says there. We're going to get Cam on and Sonny in just a moment. They're in the back area. I just want to just show you Arsenal's fixtures on the horizon, as we can all see here. We're going to put this in as big as me, zoom in a little bit more so anybody that's got bad eyesight can see. So you play Newcastle at home in 4 days' time. And remember, you've played one more game than everybody else as well. You're already on 18 games. And then it's Southampton, United, Wolves, Villa, Leeds, City, Leicester. Jesus Christ.
Living hell.
My days.
Wow.
That's gross. That is gross.
That is painful. If that doesn't come, I mean, yeah. Look, you'll get points in some of those games. There is no doubt. Arsenal, they will, because they will. Look, they got a point against Southampton when they were in that bad run. They beat Man United in that bad run. They drew with Leeds, so they will get points out of it. But on the other flip side, in 3 or 4 games' time, you can be back down in 15th, grabbing mics off midgets again. Do you know what I mean, bro? This could be happening. Big up yourself over there at Barstool. Amazing platforms are troops. Big up. Like for me, this is where Arsenal fans in that 3-game period that we saw you all in here needed to remain as humble as possible. Because this next run here, this could be make or break for your season.
And you know what, Terry? And I say they did for the most part. I know Igal came on and chatted smack about other teams while that was happening, but for the most part, I think Arsenal fans were humble and were trying to just keep their heads focused. So I respect what they were like in that period there. I will say that.
No, that they were, but I think it was sensible, very sensible, because this next run of games is when you're really going to see as a corner been turned with your manager. It looks exceedingly unlikely. I know you predicted this, and this is not a an attack at you, but you're not buying anybody this month. Not anybody of any note. There is, and by the way, no one is. There is just
no one.
I normally in January do at least one, if not two, transfer videos a day. I've done about 4 all month because there's no news. Listen, I big up Mark Goldbridge, right? Because I watch Goldbridge most days when he does these transfer talks to see what's being said. I don't know how he manages to find information. He literally, man's got best. Honestly, I was about to say he should be a policeman. He was one. Like he's information out of nowhere because he does stories, and I'm like, where are you even reading this? I read about newspapers a day, and there's no story about anybody of any real note. We're going to bring Cam on and Sonny. As well. Sonny, Cam, welcome to the show. I want to go to Sonny first. Give me your thoughts on that performance and how you see your fixtures in the next month or two going.
Hello, Trevor, by the way. I think you're being very disingenuous. Reason being, I thought Palace were exceptional today, to be honest with you. I think Palace played the system. They played it really well. They've got the players to play that system. And
Sonny,
they're horrible teams to play against.
Sonny, I can see you smiling when you say it.
No,
you're trying to deflect away from your poor performance, aren't you, bro?
No, I haven't come on. Listen, I haven't come on to us yet, right? Because there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say, right?
Okay.
But you have to compliment the opposition for doing what they've done because they had the best chance in the game. They were very solid, and to be honest with you, Granit Xhaka had an exceptional game, but he was still an accident waiting to happen. Yeah, some of them were 50-50. It was like playing chicken with a lorry, right?
He had 2 good challenges. Apart from that, he gave the ball away.
No. You know what? He gave the ball away. It's a very dangerous area, Cam. I agree with you. You're right, bro.
Sonny, Palace didn't have to do much, bro. Let's be serious. They didn't have to do much.
You know what I need to say? Yeah, we literally played it in the hands. I could see it happening. I could see when I saw that lineup. I was like, yeah, they've come in here to draw or maybe snatch a late win. That's what they're doing. I said, unless Arsenal come out and attack with this dead team, Palace, if we don't attack, we're literally playing it in Palace's hands, and we didn't attack like that. Like, brother, I don't know.
Cam, you know, if I could just say what I thought was right and wrong, if you don't mind. What I have to say is Palace caught us on a day where the Kieran Tierney injury totally messed up Arsenal's rhythm. We predominantly attack from the left. Our right hand side is dead. Hector Bellerin today was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Give that guy some credit. Our biggest problem is Rob Holding.
Hector Bellerin.
Bellerin was brilliant today. Sorry, I'm not a Bellerin lover. Bellerin, you can't call that Bellerin today.
Sonny,
he literally cost us a chance.
Sonny, do you read Lee Gunner's tweets and then just say the opposite thing? Is that what you're doing?
I won't wipe my arse with anything Lee Gunner says, to be honest with you. He talks total shit.
Lee Gunner's a ledge, bruv. He's a ledge.
In his own head, bruv. In his own head. But listen, if I could just finish though, Thomas Partey for me should have started because our centre midfield was too weak. I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack every time Palace come forward. Aubameyang for me, that was his liveliest game he's played in a long time. I thought Laka was quiet, and also very quiet was Smith Rowe, which shows we do need a better number 10. Right? Smith Rowe would be good for some games, but he's not top quality for one, and also Saka, very poor game. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, awful, absolute terrible footballer. Stick him anywhere on the pitch is awful. It's crap. But let me just come to Nicolas Pepe. £72 million of absolutely wasted money. The reason being is Arsenal do not play to the guy's strengths, because there were so many times where Aubameyang made a run, or Pepe made a run, or Lacazette made a run, and everybody put their head down and played it sideways. They just do not look like for the forward runner. At the moment, Pepe is a washing machine without any personal in it. It's just going to go round and round and round and round, and the clothes are going to come out dirty again.
Yeah. Right, so on that. By the way, thank you very much, Leslie, for the super chat. Man like Zane in the house, back with us again. Says Arteta out, Rodgers in.
I was waiting for it.
That's rubbish.
Zane pushing it again. You said like you're not playing the forward passes right. Is that your manager's tactics, or is that the players not having the confidence or ability to play them? It's one of the two things.
it's just not spotting it. It's playing the easier option.
So it's just the players.
Fantastic ball today, but
the players then, yeah.
It's the players. These players. I mean, Danny Ceballos. Just send the guy back. Send the guy back. He offers nothing. The guy offers nothing.
It's a personnel issue.
Pardon?
It's a personnel issue. Let's be honest.
Listen. Last year we finished 8th for a reason. We finished 8th for a reason because we're simply not good enough as a team.
I want to go to Cam. Thank you, Sonny. I want to go to Cam. You've got Newcastle next, and then you have a run of 6 or 7 fixtures which look absolutely scary if you're an Arsenal fan right now. I'd be petrified if I was you. How do you see yourselves coming through this next sort of 6 weeks?
Petrified. I've not been petrified since 2012, my guy. I gave up on that team since 2012, my guy. Listen, Xhaka, shit. Bellerin, shit. How you thought they had good games? They're shit, bruv. Bellerin took the ball. This guy is an op. This guy is an op. My man literally took the ball off Lacazette's feet, bruv. And you're telling me he had a good game?
You Bellerin never had a good game?
Nothing in that game, fam.
Fucking
Xhaka had, apart from this guy's 2 good challenges, Xhaka fucking did nothing again.
Xhaka was good, bro.
Oh my god! If anyone tries to tell me Xhaka had a good game today, I'll get on.
Xhaka was shit.
No,
I agree with that.
Any Arsenal fan,
Xhaka's positioning defensively to get back and put himself in the right position, that was good.
Twice. That's it.
No. But he's not usually that. He's usually that is his weakness. And today that was spot on.
This is the issue, though, Cam. His good game is still not good enough. Opportunity. The issue.
Yeah, exactly.
His good game is not good enough for us.
I agree with you because at the end of the day, apart from the two opportunities that he stopped, and fair credit to him, they were very good. There were 2 very good challenges. Yeah, fair dues to them because if he didn't get to them, they would have probably scored. Yeah, but apart from them. Once again, I saw the same shit. The guy,
bro, exactly. He's a very good footballer, bro. He's a very good footballer.
When we're attacking, the goal's that way, yeah? The goal's that way. Our keeper's over there. Let me pass to my keeper. It's a fucking joke, bro. I'm sick and tired of trying to... Listen, I don't lose it, innit? I don't fucking lose it. But you see tonight, man did a watch-along for this fucking embarrassment team, innit? Yeah, man did my first fucking watch along, for this embarrassment team.
This game, you this game for your first watch along.
Yeah, bro, they're an embarrassment to these names, bruv.
They're playing
Bergkamp back. I'd rather play a 50-year-old Bergkamp than this team, bruv. I'd rather play an 80-year-old fucking league.
Listen. I've got to calm the swearing down, please. Listen, Cam, Sonny, thank you both for coming on. We're going to get some more callers on now. Cheers, boys. Really appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Next up on the show, we're going to put... Arteta out, Edu out on the show. What you saying, bro?
It's me, Terry, Stan.
Listen,
same old bullshit. All Arsenal every time. The Arteta cheerleaders when we beat an average Chelsea team that played poor. A Brighton team we didn't even play well in the first half. 1 shot on target. No, 1 shot, none on target. A West Brom team where our under-18s could have probably beaten them. Newcastle, where we should have lost. If Andy Carroll shit, if he was a decent striker, we'd have been out of the cup. And today, these players can't defend, they can't score. And yes, Aubameyang needs to be dropped, but this guy is too stubborn. Balogun signed the pre-contract with RB Leipzig, yeah?
What a signing, by the way. What a signing.
Yeah, definitely.
Our strikers can't score. Aubameyang can't score. Lacazette scored against bank average teams. So I'm not having that, okay? And Eddie Nketiah, he's just another he's awful. He's one of the worst strikers I've ever seen play for Arsenal. He's up there with Sanogo, Chuba Apcom. He's awful.
I hear that.
Why don't you play Balogun? He's so stubborn.
I want to put out a little stat. Arteta's now been in charge of Arsenal for 38 Premier League games. Total points in that time, 57.
Oh, you basically are on the table.
Arteta as well, yeah. His coaching staff is hard, is an absolute joke. He's hired Steve Round, who failed at big clubs such as Manchester United and England, who he failed to get into the Euros. He's worked on the bang average managers like Steve McLaren, David Moyes, Sam Allardyce. Then you've got another one who was the assistant at Louis van Gaal.
Hang on, go back. Sorry. So is that your assistant manager?
Yeah, Steve Round.
So your assistant manager is renowned for being with pragmatic low block managers, and you man think you're turning into City 2.0.
No, not me, Terry. Not me, Terry. I say as it is.
I'm telling you. Hang on, do me a favor. Read the names of those managers that he's worked under before Arteta.
Steve McLaren under Middlesbrough, Sam Allardyce, and David Moyes.
Oh,
And they are low block Brexit football. This is what Arsenal are. You are low block Brexit football.
And Terry, Bellerin didn't play well. He played shit. The guy can't defend. He's always out of position. The guy, Lee Dixon, Lauren, Sanya, to this guy, and our fans think he's good. And Lee Gunner's right. Our expectations as fans is one of the reasons we've declined as a football club, because we rate bang average players like Bellerin, Xhaka, all these bang average players. Aubameyang, he has credit in the bank, don't get me wrong, but he's not doing the job. So
he's overdrawn, mate. No, he's overdrawn right now.
Can I say one thing? Balogun. If Balogun leaves, you're going to blame Arteta, right?
Yeah, well, I do, because he's not started him.
Okay.
And I'm not even putting the squad. And do you know why? Because our strikers are not performing. So why don't you give a chance to a promising striker? Yeah. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? But okay, yeah, you're Arteta, and Arteta, he's the worst manager in Arsenal's history. I'm putting it out there now.
That's not what I'm asking you, though. Listen to this. You're talking about Balogun and people hating on Arteta because of Balogun. To me, that's completely delusional. Because one, you have to understand that where would he play in this team? He's going to be what? Third choice, first choice at best. In addition to that, we have people coming up the ranks, such as John Jules. We got Nicolas Müller. We even got Gabriel Martinelli, who could play as a striker. We already have Aubameyang. We already have Lacazette. As much as people are saying Balogun this, Balogun that, realistically, if the kid wants to get playing time and he wants to leave for playing time, that's up to him. That's not up to the manager.
Yeah, no, Igal, no, the issue is, though, look at the people playing ahead of him. Lacazette has not been performing over the
time. One of the most on-form strikers in the Premier League until today.
In the entirety of the season, Igal, he hasn't been performing. Eddie Nketiah has proven that he's not good enough for Arsenal. I don't even know if he's good enough for the Premier League, let alone Arsenal Football Club. You are telling me these two guys deserve to be playing more time than a young player who can literally just give him a chance and couldn't do any worse? Are you telling that he deserves that?
The kid has never played in the Premier League yet. And Arteta's gonna.
That's not the question.
That isn't the question.
I'm not answering what you're saying. I'm telling you what my point is. My point is that Arteta does not have to abide by somebody's rules as a young academy kid saying, "I want more playing time in order for me to stay." If he's telling you to call the shots, you don't tell him to. You don't let a young academy player.
No, that's not the point. What you're doing, Agal. Agal, you are a very, very. I'm going to start calling you. Your new name on the show now is Mac Hancock, right? You are very good.
Agal Hancock, bro.
Agal Hancock. You're spinning things. The player isn't dictating. Okay, he isn't dictating and telling Arteta what to do. He's saying, "Please play me, or I'm going to leave." I think I can make a difference to this team that's been struggling for the majority of the season in the same way that Saka and Smith Rowe have done. Your manager has made a conscious managerial decision to say, I'm not playing you. So they both shook hands and this young player is left. If you get another Gnabry moment and the Nketiahs and the Lacazettes and the Aubameyangs don't improve from this point, it's egg on the face. By the way, in the same way, that Man United have egg on their face for allowing Paul Pogba to leave and spending £80 million to get him back. Because if we would have, we were picking right backs and left backs to play in central midfield and bringing Scholes out of retirement. By the way, we did win a title for them, Scholes, rather than giving Paul Pogba a game and an opportunity. And in that season that Paul Pogba decided to leave, we'd have just given him 10 games we would never have lost him. So you've lost. And there are some of your Arsenal fans that think this young man that's left Arsenal, they think he is their Marcus Rashford. That's what they believe. Of course, they're frustrated that he's gone now to another club after all the money, time, investment that Arsenal Football Club have put into him. Do you not understand that?
I understand that, but we also got Nicolas Müller, who's being linked as the next Ibrahimovic, people are calling him, right? We got Gabriel Martinelli, who people are rating highly already. We have John Jules, who's never been given a chance. We also already still have Eddie Nketiah. So as much as people are talking about Balogun, you have to understand that there's 3-4 guys that are also next man up.
No, you see
where people are crying and blaming Arteta for one youth player leaving.
I get what you're saying.
Blaming him for that. That's ridiculous.
No. I get the fact you can't blame it solely on Arteta. That the reason why he's not going there, because also you got to look at your board and Edu for not giving him the contract that would make him stay. Like there are angles to look at this, but the question I'm asking you, Igal, is, which you never answered because you move like an MP. Did he deserve not to get played? With the players in front of him not performing, you're telling me he did not deserve a chance over Nketiah?
He does. He definitely does. And I'm calling for him to play over Nketiah. But the thing is, why
don't you say that again? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, Igal. He deserved the call-up over Nketiah. Who didn't give him the call-up?
Arteta put him on the bench, but he never played him.
So whose fault is that?
Who's that? It's Arteta's, isn't it, bro? That's what he's saying.
At the end of the day, listen, at the end of the day,
why do you always cut corners?
No player is bigger than the club. People saying,
Terry, shut up. It triggered me.
No. People did this about Pablo Mari.
Hush your mouth a minute. Who said, what one person on this stream has said, this young man is bigger than your club? No one said that. You're putting words into our mouth. You're twisting the story. Your manager could have given him a chance and he didn't. He has now decided to leave. He may have done better than some of your flop attacking players this year. I think it would have been worthwhile early on in this season giving that young man an opportunity when you were in the pits. He didn't do it. Now, if he goes on to have a dead career, then Arteta's right. If that man starts doing a Gnabry, Arteta's going to have blood on his hands.
Okay, but what about the fact that people just last week they were saying it's embarrassing that we're depending on youngsters, and now you're telling me we should
my gosh,
more
Miguel.
What are you talking about?
Listen, there's fans who came on this show and said that it's embarrassing that we're depending on youngsters.
Who said it's embarrassing?
Guys, I've said this. Please let me answer. I'm sorry, gentlemen. Listen, Agal, it's embarrassing if you've got 4, 5, 6 talented youngsters and no top class established adults to support them. So the only way it makes sense to sell this young kid is to go out and buy an established star that's absolutely delivering. But bringing through another young talent isn't the embarrassing part. The Xhakas, the Luises, the Lacazettes, the Pepes, that's the embarrassing bit. That doesn't mean you don't develop another young superstar in the making. That makes no sense. That literally is backwards, Igal. Come on, bruv. I know what you're doing. You're trying to defend Arteta again, but it's delusional, bruv. I'm sorry.
Every time we lose a game, we draw a game, people are gonna Arteta out. People are gonna say this is Arteta's fault. Realistically, they're not gonna point out the other issues and the other situations. I'm just pointing out everything to try to make the floor balance. Because
I've got a question for you. Do you blame what happened to Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne on Jose Mourinho? Do you think he has blood in his hands for not playing them early enough?
At Chelsea.
Jose Mourinho and Mo Salah,
at Chelsea.
is a different story.
No. When you talk about Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah at Chelsea, do you blame their demise on Jose Mourinho for not playing them?
I blame the club for not realizing that they have a talented player and bringing them back when they performed elsewhere.
It's the manager.
No. That's not the question. The question's not about where they went. Where were they at the time at Chelsea? Who do you blame for them not getting the game time they needed?
Listen, that's a different story because they won the league, even though those players left.
No, but Gal, what he's saying is it's the manager's fault, isn't it? Look where they've gone to.
I think we could ask Gal this question in 1,000 different ways. He's never going to answer it straight. And listen, and what I will say about Gal Hancock is when people defer and they twist the answer, it's because you know that he knows it's down to Arteta. Now he may agree with Arteta. Do you know what's funny, right? Do you agree with Arteta's decision not to play him?
No, I disagree with. He should be getting more chances.
So then why are you,
So why are you
then why
defending
do you
it?
say that?
No, because I'm saying it's ridiculous and delusional to say if this kid leaves, I'm gonna blame it all on Arteta and I'm gonna be mad at Arteta about it. Because there's realistically that is a backwards approach.
So, what people are saying is this. Let me reiterate it again. They're saying, why didn't we at least give him a chance when everybody else is failing? And earlier on in the season, Martinelli wasn't even fit. Everybody else, barring Saka, in your attack has been failing. You didn't give this young kid enough of an opportunity, and now you've lost somebody that could be your Rashford, that could be your Phil Foden, be your Raheem Sterling. I think it could come back like Gnabry to bite you on the arse. Samuel's with us.
I never know.
You know what? That was the most flattest, deadest performance I've ever seen in my life. You know, it's like I was on a Microsoft Teams meeting again. You know, I just should have fallen asleep. You know, Granit Xhaka, I love you, but why are you defending Granit Xhaka? We know he's not good enough.
He had a good game today.
No, Igal, come on. If it's
He lost you the game at the end. He slipped.
Exactly.
He lost you the game.
Igal, man, listen, he's not good enough for Arsenal. If we want to get somewhere, then we can't have Granit Xhaka and Hector Bellerin in our football club. Hector, every time, what was it, 90th minute, Hector Bellerin was on the attack and he kept on passing the ball backwards. I mean, come on, man, just use your brain for once in your life. He has no sense in his brain, bro. No sense, clueless. You see, what was it? Hector Bellerin's new documentary on his ACL injury. Bro, League Gunners watch-alongs is getting more views than that. League Gunners watch-alongs is getting more views than Hector Bellerin's documentary. That's how
did you steal that from?
That documentary about him return. Listen, I know for sports stars, like doing your ligaments and your knees are bad, but some of this kind of weird. Oh my god, a football player recovering from a knee injury. I don't want to watch a documentary about that. Isn't like some poor working class mother whose husband died years ago, who's got 4 kids and she's struggling, has just found out she's got a bad illness and is struggling to hold down 2 or 3 jobs. They try and turn these things into major sub stories. Man's a multi-millionaire with the best medical team in the world around him. I get it's a struggle, but I don't want to hear that nonsense.
I blame Griezmann for this. That stupid documentary he made about him moving clubs, fam, is what set this off, and then Amazon fed into it as well.
I get why the TV companies do it. And thank you, by the way, Sam, for coming on, mate. We're going to jump into some more callers. Top man, thank you. Nabil says, I'm disgusted with Crystal Palace. They lost 2 easy points. There's no point arguing with the gal. It's like arguing Trump's cult to criticize Trump. Next up on the show, Sonny, if you want to try come back on, come back on. Next up, we're going to get who we're going to get on the show. Who's actually going to give an opinion here? We're going to get J. Cole on the line. What are you going to say, bruv?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, bruv. Who do you support and what do you want to say?
I support Arsenal, and I think, Agal, your points are kind of... I hear what you're saying, but they're wrong. First of all, before going into the game, Balogun, the reason why I agree with Arteta in not playing Balogun is that Balogun is holding the club hostage with his contract. You can't allow a youngster to hold a club hostage because, of course, yes, Saka didn't even hold Arsenal up with his contract. Balogun hasn't played more than 3 games yet. He's requesting a lot of money from the club. You can say, he is the next Rashford or he's the next this. But most Arsenal fans haven't actually seen him in a professional game other than 2 in the Europa League. And most people are going off of his youth games. If you're going off of his youth games, then Eddie Nketiah, when you're seeing him for England, he was probably the best striker in the world. He should be the best striker in the world right now. If you're actually taking it like that, like
Cole.
everyone's very reactionary with this bad.
Can I have this, Terry, please?
Go on.
So I understand what you're saying, but I disagree with you saying that he's holding the club to ransom. We had this situation just in the summer actually with Angel Gomez. These situations aren't a young player holding a club to ransom. It's both parties trying to play chicken and who will break first.
Not that
he needs
offering him a contract. He's not taking it because he doesn't think
but Casper, why is he not taking it? It's because you've said it. He only gets 3 games. He only gets limited game time as a young player. But why would you want to be at a club that don't want to play you and have treated? I don't want to prove to you that they're loyal to you.
No, of course that makes sense. But if you actually take it into the grand scheme of things, if you want to replace Lacazette this summer and you've given Balogun a contract, Balogun is definitely not getting game time over a striker that if we were to buy a 50 million striker, he's not getting game time over him or Aubameyang season. So it really doesn't. So you signing Balogun to a contract, it doesn't actually change his situation. He can play the rest of the season, and if we were to sell Lacazette, he'll be on the bench the next season.
Bro, I'm loving the spin, right? And I'll tell you why I'm loving the spin. So no player holds a club to ransom. Every player goes into contract negotiations in the same way. This is what I want, or this is what I would like. Money, bonuses, game time, squad number, status, etc. The club then makes a decision as to whether or not they agree to it. No one's holding them to ransom. Yeah. Every player will leave a club if they don't get what they want in the transfer negotiations, or they don't end up with something they're happy with, as an example.
That's very true.
But what happens is when it's a player that leaves and you want to defend your manager, and we did this with Pogba at Man United, where we said, held the club to ransom, because it makes it sound like the player's misbehaving and doing something wrong, when in fact he's behaving like all the players that got new deals. Now, the club has made a conscious decision, like you've just said, that they don't think he's going to get enough game time because they don't think he's good enough. That's what the club is saying. The reason certain Arsenal fans are angry is they believe the club's wrong and that he is going to go on to be a very, very talented player. The proof, though, is only going to come in the pudding. There's a lot of Man United fans that were angry that Angel Gomez left. Suddenly we're top of the league and his name doesn't come up as a problem for leaving anymore, because hindsight's, depending on what you do moving forward. The point a lot of Arsenal fans are actually saying is that this season, barring Saka, for the large parts, your whole attacking line has been dead. They believe he's good enough and he should have been given more game time because they believe he's going to be a star. So I think sort of just coming out like yourself and a gal saying, yeah, but he held the club to ransom, so we didn't want to keep him. That's disingenuous.
Listen, you can't listen to the fans. They said Runnerson should start over Leno.
Hang on. What do you mean I can't listen to the fans? I'm listening to you, bro.
No, some of the fans come with complete random, because they said they were calling for Leno's name to be benched and Runnerson to start.
No one was calling for Runnerson to play over Leno, please.
Nah, Joel, come on. People were calling for his name. Do you remember when Leno was having his thinker?
Listen, bro, come on. That's a man. Joe, listen, thank you for coming on. I've got to jump on some more callers. Great points made, though, young man. Thank you very much for coming on, brother. Thank you. Take care of yourself, mate. Next up on the show, we're going to have Zane. Actually, no, we're going to do Mo AFC first. Arsenal fan. What you saying, bruv?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Mo? Yes, bruv. What do you want to say?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, bruv. What do you want to say?
I just think that Arsenal fans are so reactionary.
In what way? Explain.
They just because every time something happens, like today we drew a game, they're already on Arteta's back. We just won 3 games. Yeah, we just won 3 games. We need to calm down here. It's a draw. We take on the chin. We move on. I know we got tough fixtures ahead, but
Lincoln, is that you, Lincoln?
I like this guy.
No, I literally.
I genuinely thought that was Lincoln then.
It sounded like him, didn't it?
Nabil here says, why Igal and DT said they would make the top 4 at the start of the season if they knew all these problems existed. Either you guys admit you were delusional or Arteta fouled. I don't want a long answer. Pick one. So do you reckon, were you being delusional in the summer saying you'd make top 4 if you knew there were these problems, or has Arteta fouled you?
I would say that I was being hopeful.
That's called delusional, Gal. Delusional.
Again, next up on the show, we're going to put Zane. We're going to bring Sonny back as well. Sonny was
laughing.
You know what, mate? Listen, everyone has to understand that we talk to each other on air and off air is very, very different. But you are funny. Zane's with us. Zane, what did you make of Arsenal tonight? And what did you make of the way Gal's defending Arteta in his club?
Oh, I'll keep it real because you're coming on proper delusional. But I've got a question for you, Arsenal fans. I'm glad Sonny's coming as well, right? What does success look like for Arsenal this season? Because you got 8th and a cup last season. But realistically, no. What is that your club now? You hoping for top 6? You ain't gonna win UEFA League, bro. Let's keep it real, man. There's too many bigger teams in there.
Let me stop you.
So what? You get lucky on the FA Cup? No. But answer the question. What is success look like?
Let me answer what you just said. I said to everybody here, and they remember. I said if we finish 10th and we win the Europa League, it's an improvement. And you guys laughed at me. Right now,
he's still laughing now, bro.
Right now, if we finish 10th and we win the Europa League, to me, that would be an improvement.
No, Gal, you can't go backwards in your league position.
You drive me mad.
Improvement. You can't do that. Going forward, like if you said
and a Europa League trophy, that is an improvement.
No. If you said seventh, no, it's not seventh. And the Europa League trophy is an improvement because you've gone further in your league position, which is your bread and butter. Going backwards in the league is not improvement, Igal. No. It is not.
KJ, do you mind if I put some realism on this, please? Firstly, thanks for letting me back on, because I know a lot of people want to have their say, so I really appreciate it. You know, we need to have a bit of realism, right? What we all want, you can't always have. Yeah, Arsenal are not in a position where we could demand we want to be in any position, because we're not there as a club no more. We're failed so much, right? The realistic Arsenal fans know where we are. So all this EastEnders, you know, we have nothing left in Bill, you know, is all like overreacting, you know. And you bring Igal on week after week after week after every game, and you rip him to shreds. What's he done? Yeah, he's done nothing. So Igal, I'm behind you, and you know, let's have a debate. We can have a debate about what's going on, because I can't stand it.
Wait a sec. If Arsenal were winning more, Igal wouldn't get like the banter that he does. He's part of the crew that comes on this show as an example. But last night,
we'll support you. We'll support you.
Hang on a minute. Last night, Spurs dropped points, and Igal comes on and starts taking the mick out of other people's teams and question what people say. Igal does the same thing. Because exactly, why not? The only reason the Gals had more banter this year than any other fan base is because Arsenal have been trash. If Arsenal were top of the league, no one would be saying anything to Igal. Also, the next 3 games, I'm getting it in the neck. This isn't about picking on Igal. Igal knows where he's at. We all talk a lot behind.
It's not about that anyway.
You talk about accepting where Arsenal are, which is fair, because that's a point I was going to bring up in later. Like, as in, do you think Arsenal fans are living in this reality of they think they're bigger than they actually are anymore? But you're not accepting where you are and wanting better.
No, can I explain it?
You're accepting going backwards.
Can I explain it very, very simply for everyone who's not getting it? You know, we all ousted Wenger. Well, not all of us. Some of us did. Yeah, I did too, right? And Wenger's levels from where we wanted to go, from where Wenger was to where we was now, which we can't achieve in our dreams now, right? At that point, we were there because we were coming from the top, yeah, and we fell behind. Now we can't compare ourselves to Wenger's level because we are so far away from that now. All we could do is judge our team on a week by week basis of where we are as a squad, as a club now.
Yes, but Sonny, that would be fine if someone didn't say finishing 10th, which is worse than the position you had last season, and a cup is progress. That's not progress, and that's the issue.
Why should we progress? Because why should we progress? What have we done to progress?
Sonny. So you're going to get the Igal treatment now. That isn't what people are saying. You're saying, why should we progress? That's actually agreeing with us that you haven't progressed. What Igal?
That's right. Yeah.
Sonny, that's fine. So if you go back to 10th in the league this year and win the Europa League, do you think, not whether you should or shouldn't progress, do you think that is progression? 2 different questions.
Arsenal have not progressed as a club. League position's got nothing to do with it no more.
So stop being another Hancock, Sonny Hancock here. Answer the question, bruv. If you finish 10th this season but win the Europa League, is that progress from last year, yes or no?
If we get to the Champions League, of course it's progress.
Then that's your opinion. Viewers, you can tell us what you think and feel about that. Sonny, thanks for coming back on, mate, and having your say.
One last point, Terry. One last point. I really appreciate it. You know what? If you've got a goal in life, right, it doesn't matter if you go the long way around to get it, as long as you achieve it. So that's what they say.
20 years. I mean, you know, how long did you want?
Thank you, Sonny. Next up is going to be Brandon. Brandon's with us. What you saying, mate? I mean, do you think it's progression to finish 10th this year?
And win the Europa League?
Nope. No way. No way. Your league season, your 38 games is your bread and butter, as KJ pointed out. And this season has not been good enough. It does not matter if we win the Europa League, because if we get into the Champions League, we are that crap that we would be out in the group stages anyway. It makes no difference. On Balogun,
right? Now, my biggest issue with the whole Balogun situation is not that I necessarily think that the guy is going to be a top quality player, but in the 2 games that he has played for Arsenal this season, 2 games in the Europa League, he scored 2 goals and he created an assist. Now, we are 11th in the Premier League. We have been struggling to score goals all season. And if he can't get into this Arsenal team that are sat 11th in the league, can't score goals, and can't get ahead of an underperforming Aubameyang or an Eddie fucking Nketiah, then I don't blame the guy for leaving. I really don't.
I make absolutely right. The comment here says, to be fair, I think Balogun to Leipzig is agent talk. It started after MA. I don't know who. Mikel Arteta said player and club already are on terms, except the agent. I've seen him playing the under 23s. He's nowhere near ready for Leipzig.
So that's not. Is it not confirmed? Is it confirmed that he's going, or is it?
No, it's a rumor, but it's pretty much.
You know what I'd say about that? I mean, look, by the way, bro, you're allowed that opinion that he's nowhere near ready, so you're not going to be angry. My only pushback, and the main pushback, which did trigger me when Igal says it, because it's what leads to player hate, is the way Arsenal fans that are protecting Arteta are using language such as holding the club to ransom, dictating to the club what they should do. That simply isn't true. Nothing has happened in this negotiation that is different to other contract negotiations for new signings or renewals of contracts. The difference is that there's a difference between what the player and the club want to do. That isn't holding. It's like this again. If I offer you a full-time job at the Football Terrace and you say, this is what I want to get paid, you're not holding me to ransom. You're saying, this is what I want to get paid, or I'm not doing it. I mean, imagine me listen, I was going to employ a gal, but he was literally blackmailing me, bro. He's blackmailing me. But that's to make you look bad, and all you were asking for was to be paid fairly. It's to what you think is fairly. That's what's dumb about it. What your language will do is create hate and abuse towards a football player, and I'm just trying to defend him because I've seen Paul Pogba now still gets hate because of that lie I told about him back then.
I don't condone any of that, Terry. I don't condone any of that. And you know what? I want to get onto that.
You're pushing it.
No, I want to get onto that because there's one guy, Nicolas Pepe. He might not perform. He never really done anything of note for me to big him up or gas him up. But the people who are being disgusting, vile human beings, giving him racial abuse based on a performance which he wasn't even at fault for this draw. You guys are disgusting people, and you can take a look at yourselves because these people.
I love you, Gal. You're actually a politician in disguise. I don't know how have you twisted it from you getting a little bit of heat to talking about other people, bro.
It's literally what it's brilliant. Why did you vote not to feed the children and now say you're happy? Do you know what I think is brilliant? What I think is brilliant is the way Joe Blogg stood up to racism yesterday on Twitter. That wasn't the question, but aren't you against racism? Of course I am, and that's what we're talking about.
You guys are missing the point.
Give the man the Oscar, man. Give him the Oscar.
Let me just say this again. So, are you going to apologize now to that young man that you said was holding your club to ransom and you said was dictating to the club, because that could cause hate and abuse towards him if people think he's trying to damage your brand? Could you please apologize to him, please?
Immediately after, everyone apologizes to Arteta for saying that he's at fault for this whole situation.
No. Sorry. Igal, Arteta has made the decision to not play him and doesn't want to give him the deal that he wants. That is Arteta's decision. So, of course, you can blame him for making that decision.
Listen, Arteta gets blamed for everything. He might as well get blamed for the kitchen lady burning the toast. Because at this point, that's what everyone's saying, right? Like,
if Arteta is in charge of cooking the toast and it burns, and he's at fault, but he's not. He's in charge of picking the team. He hasn't picked the player. The player wants to leave. That's down to Arteta.
I was simply pointing out that there's a line of people ready to come in, and it's ridiculous to criticize, assassinate Arteta's character based on this.
Who's not assassinating his character?
No one.
What?
I'm sorry, Ken.
Can I ask you a question?
It's not abuse, Gal, to say it's the wrong decision. That isn't abuse.
Listen, I think Arteta gets stuff wrong too. He has gotten the Balogun thing wrong, and at times he should be playing.
Why are you defending him?
But I'm not defending that. I'm not defending the fact that he should be playing.
He's allowed to make mistakes. What is wrong with you? Just accept it.
Wait. KJ.
Brian, we're having the last say. We've got a minute to go. What are you saying, Prime?
I think Igal is an Arteta sexual.
Oh yes.
Like you are for
Prime,
Jose.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
but at least,
It's ain't about Gem. It's ain't about Prime.
but at least with Jose, he's got clout in the game, and I can actually defend him. Arteta, you're saying stuff that just doesn't make sense. Just admit he's got
Man said, at least Jose's got game to like turn me on. Like Arteta got none of that, bro. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
that's not what I said.
That's what you're saying, Prime. It's okay, bro.
Sexual.
You know what? I gotta give this guy props. He hasn't spoken for 2 weeks, and now he comes back with this. Amazing.
I've been sick for 2 weeks, but okay, go.
Now, can I ask Arsenal fans one thing before we go? Who's going to come to your club in the summer? Let's be honest, real. Away ain't going to come. If you get top 6, Europa League, you're going to keep getting worse and worse because you need better players to make your team go better. Arteta can't develop.
I don't need Awar. I don't need these guys. What I need is someone who's going to improve themselves. Someone who has the work ethic to improve every single day as a better footballer.
Wait, why don't you join Arsenal? Why don't you join Arsenal instead, bro? You'll be a lot
I join Arsenal. Believe me, these guys would be pumped up every single day. They'd be like, "Woo!" before every game. Believe it.
Except they're shit. They are shit players. They're never going to get any better.
Yes, you're Brandon. What are you saying, bro?
Mark my words, mate. We're not getting anybody this January transfer window. And if we do, it will be on loan or it will be a 33-year-old fucking reject from Chelsea. Because that's how we move.
It's the 14th. It's the 14th.
We'll probably get David Ruiz a new contract.
Yo, Igal, you were saying it's the 1st of September. We can still get a war. No, listen, it's not happening, bro. Let it go.
It's done.
I've got it. Arsenal are leaving it until the last day. That's their plan.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what they said before.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll leave it till the last day to activate
everybody that's tuned in this evening, thank you. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Back tomorrow. Build up to the big weekend. We're going to touch on Chelsea tomorrow as well. Big London derby for them. It's a huge weekend of football. Make sure you all go check out if you haven't done so already, the Liverpool Man United preview from earlier on today. Listen, until next time, take care. Goodbye.